Hey everyone, Twins34 here, and I'm going to do a little bit of a web series on setting up the different modes of the game. I'm going to break it down into many parts, but the way OOTP 25 is playing, we definitely need to have a little bit of a offensive strategy to help fight what people are complaining as very slow development and extreme drop off of potentials. So let's go and kind of work on this. I'm going to start with a standard game. So that means 2024 game. We'll go in. We're not going to play on challenge mode. We're just going to go with Major League. Called OOTP standard. And we will start the setup. Now I will not go through advanced setup. I will do everything once the game has been created. So with the power of the internet, let's just skip right to that. All right, we're here to pick team. So I'm going to take my Twins. I'm going to play in commissioner mode. And I'm going to start the game. And here we are. All right, so in game, we are going to go and click on game. Go to game settings. This is where I'm going to start. Now, I'm not going to tell you one way or the other if you're going to use a scouting system or not. You know, that's just something that you're going to either want to have on or you don't. For me, in any game I'm playing that I'm going to have possible fictional characters coming in, like with a 2024 game, in a few years I'm going to have fictional characters. I want to have scouting on because it gives more of a fog of war to when you're playing. I do not use stars. I use 2080. I leave this on because I like to see big numbers. I use the coaching system. I like to turn off coach sniping. I turn off owner goals. And I turn off enable storylines. And I save once a week. On this page, that is all I do. Players and team. Now, I like to have a few more injuries when it comes to short injuries. Long injuries, I'll keep on the classic. I don't like to have delayed injury diagnosis, so I turn that on to never. Player fatigue, I like to actually make that to moderate. Your players still get fatigued pretty good, so you don't need to worry about it. Also, for the way a lot of people like to talk about injuries, putting this down to normal is going to help with injuries too. I always turn on show player personality ratings on profile page. I don't like to have to go and search for this information. I just like to see it on their profile page. Battery aging speed, I like to go to 0.925. For dev speed, 0.1, 1.1. Pitcher aging speed is going to be the same as batter, 0.925. And pitcher dev speed, 1.1. Development target age, if you want to have your players develop a little bit faster, you can switch it to younger. I leave it at default. Um, Aging target age, I like to put this to older. This makes your players start to age a little bit later. So right now, 28 is about the spot where your players start losing stamina, start losing hitting, so on and so forth. Putting it on older moves that more into the early 30s. Talent change randomness, the way this has been changed, I put this down to 75 in standard games, and it seems to play pretty well. All right, with the development lab, I go 10 to 12 spots. That has seemed to be the sweet spot. So 10 to 12 is where I play this and display lab specific ratings changes in emails. Turn that on. When it comes to league settings, under rules, the only thing I might turn on is allow draft pick trading. That I do just for fun. I don't use it all the time, but it gives you something to play around with just to give you a little bit more flavor to your game. Otherwise, I really don't change much here. I might take the training roster size and just bring it down to like 35. Just because I don't like to have my whole entire 40 man pulled and then I'm wasting option years on the people that are on the 40 man. I'm pretty good with my 40 man where I keep it below 40, usually around 32 or so. But I just don't see the need to have 60 players going to spring training, so I just put it at 35. Um, Financials, I don't touch anything in here. Options, not much I change in here at all. Layers, once again, I don't touch any of these. I might play around with making this 180 days over just 90 days. Because, 90 is the default. But, I like to have a little bit of time, so I might go 120 or a few more. It just depends on how I feel when I'm setting up. But I like to have a little bit more time working with the players and trying to get the guys that I like to, get interested in my team. Um, and talking about that, I did skip the draft. It's on July 11th. It has 90 days. I also like to put this up to 120 just so I have a few more weeks to scout my players. So that's something I do is just put this up a little bit higher so I can have a few more times to scout. Um, Historical, I don't touch anything here. No reason to. Stats and AI, absolutely nothing. So for in stats and I might come down here and I might mess around with catcher framing. I might put it up to high since that's kind of the way it has been for the last 10, 15 years. So I make it so that framing is a little bit more important. You don't have to. It's just my flavor. I like to have that a little bit more important. Pitcher stamina, I might put it at normal just because normal isn't very high. You might make 7 innings, 8 if you're lucky. You might get a complete game, but it is not guaranteed. So normal is not bad. Low, I feel, is just a little bit too low. So I like to at least put this back up to normal. So, besides any of those, that's about all I do in a standard game. If you have any questions to why I do what I do, please post below. I will give my answers to you. Um, Also, please check out my other videos. I have done many videos on the development lab, development sliders, even how to put new logos and uniforms in your game. Um, Even how to make uniforms with the uniform creator. So please go check out those videos. And also, please like and subscribe, as it does help us YouTubers with YouTube. Helps us get a few more views and get our information out there. So please like and subscribe. And thank you for watching and have a great day.